Okay, we still see that we're in a downtrend currently, and you might say, oh, you know, it's a short-term downtrend and it's breaking previous pivots. Okay, we see the pivots on the weekly. I go over this every day, and there's a reason why. It just makes sense. And even if you're on the intraday, I mean, a chart is a chart, and that's what I'm trying to show you guys. That if you look at this and you look at the 30-minute, what trend are we in? Okay, look, don't use any moving averages. Just take something simple and say, I'm going to take from this high and point it towards this low. What direction is that? Sometimes it takes that type of simplistic, you know, this is what's called down. Okay, and if you're trying to, look at each individual pop, of course there's going to be retracements. So look at the way that this formulated itself. This broke down, came down, popped below. You use this low, layered above it, came back down. You use this low, came into it, then you measure out the fib, 62%. That's my max. Shorted right into it, gave you some money at the end of the day. And that's for the intraday, guys. I mean, I don't like anything. I mean, a chart is a chart, but your reaction time has to be different. I like having some time to look and see the trend and go from there. So we see that we still have that going on. I expect some type of, retrace to this level. Okay. Again, those that went short got squeezed a little bit this morning, and then might have gone short right on the break of this low, and they got squeezed enough to have them tap out. And I think if anything, it could give a little bit more, a little bit more retracement. Then, as long as this and we see some volume decreasing, we can go from there. We got the QQQ, same thing. Gave a little bit of squeeze going on. You look at the 30-minute, again, pretty much the same thing, just healthy, movement to the downside, and just going from there. You got the IWM, that one. Again, we want to see how this one plays out. Again, if you look intraday, you can see that this price action is starting to get sloppy, actually. So you got to be cautious with going short. This one, again, could be a nice little retracement to the upside. Break these levels or kind of give a lower volume for tomorrow and just staying below this and then flushing back for some more downside. You have the diamond. Same thing. I want to see it pop up, give a couple days, weaker volume, stay here, even brush it, boom, back to the downside. Because it's currently breaking some pivot points that we were talking about on the weekly. So you have to be cautious shorting. But again, you don't have to feel like, just because it's a down day or the market's open, you're going to have to do something, because you don't have to. Apple, we have to see what's going on. Again, it's sideways. I have a forecasted date of 10/17 that I posted on July 25th. So we got to see what happens around that day. I usually give 2 days plus, 2 days minus. So we're getting around the time frame that we should see something move either to the up or to the downside. But you see it's pretty much sideways. Facebook is testing this previous level, but again, the retracement is too deep from the previous pivot, and also it might be even deep from this pivot. So if we took from this pivot, came up, you see that it's past 80%. So again, this is not a dip that I would buy. I would kind of just want to see if the retracement has short volume or lighter volume, and then continue to the downside. Tesla gave a little inside day regarding the intraday price action. You can see it's pretty much been it was just sideways. One big bar, stayed pretty much within the range of that bar. And that's pretty much it. Regarding that name, you've got Twitter. Twitter is actually hitting some type of, obvious support, but again, the retracement from the previous pivot is not where I want it to be. Maybe if you drew it from here, it could be something that you would say, okay, it's breached, but if it breaks above this high, maybe. But we got to see what the overall markets are doing. Bank of America. Again, it's layering actually right on top of the previous highs. Be cautious regarding that one because of what's going on with everything else. GoPro. This one actually, I don't see if it gives you a high. It has not given you a higher high in a while, but you see the volume is low. Like it's and again, it's coming to this area, so I guess if it comes back, I think it could test the highs. It's not breaking down. It's the chart pattern is not crap. Again, if you traded it on an intraday aspect, that's cool. I mean, you could have maybe faded it down to this area, but it's not broken. It's not horrible. I mean, even if you went to like a, let's see if I could get it off like a 4 hour or something. This isn't a chart that looks destroyed. I mean, it's just if it breaks below this level, yes, but you got this level and it's not looking, they're not really driving it down so much. If they break a new high and break above this high, it looks like it could break up potentially, but again, the overall markets are not what is not sexy, and that's what we're looking to see. Netflix is just kind of sideways. We don't know where that's going to go. Again, you do have the lower lows in place, so, but you have that it broke down and it came back in. I don't know if this was support level as well, so this might have been a good short per se. And I also had Q that actually somebody mentioned to me that I was actually looking at, and I didn't get into this trade, but again, it had the nice pivot. It had the low 1-2 bar pullback, giving spacing, broke back down. You say, okay, here we go here, 1 or 2 bars, it broke down a little bit more. So these things are, again, I don't need any moving averages to show me that. The moving averages do help to show that, but again, for my personality, I know I get snake charms and drawn into them. But let's see how this stuff plays out. Again, expect a little bounce on the things. Don't go straight up or straight down. And what could happen is people become impatient. They miss the move. They get angry. They go short. It goes up one day, and it squeezes them out. So you don't want to be that guy. Okay, so let's see how this plays out and trade them well.